Hello, estudiantes. Today we're going to learn about present tense AR verbs. Please have your note guide out and ready, and when I tell you to stop the video and write some information down in your note guide, please do. So, we've learned about a lot of present tense verbs in Chapter 1 and in lección preliminar. Many verbs end with the infinitive AR, and we know that a verb infinitive are verbs like hablar or trabajar. They mean to do something. It's the most simple form of the verb. Here are some present tense verbs that you've already learned. You can fill out the note guide or the chart as I'm going along. If you miss what I say, you can always use wordreference.com or the glossary on page R24. So here are some of the infinitives that end with AR that we've already learned. Alquilar, to rent. Andar, to walk. Comprar, to buy. Contestar, to answer. Descansar, to rest. Dibujar, to draw. Enseñar, to teach. Escuchar, to listen to. Estudiar, to study. Hablar, to speak. Llegar, to arrive. Mirar, to look. Montar, to ride. Necesitar, to need. Pasar, to spend time. Pasear, to take a stroll or a walk. Practicar, to practice. Sacar, to take out. Tomar, to take, like to take a drink or to take a trip, and trabajar, to work. Just like I said, you could use wordreference.com if you forget or you missed what I said. Go back and listen to the video or use R24 in your glossary. So let's talk about how we form present tense AR verbs. So to form present tense of a very regular verb that ends with AR, we take the AR off and we add these endings to make sure that they agree with the subject. Please write down the endings on number 2 of your note guide. So if the subject was yo or I would use the ending o. If the subject was tú or you, I would use the ending as. If the subject was usted, él or ella, he or she, or you want to show respect to someone, we would use the ending a. For the nosotros form, we would use the ending amos. In English would be the we form. And for the they form, or the ustedes, ellos, ellas form, it would be an. So the endings are o, as, a, amos, an. So for example, if I was talking about the verb hablar, to speak, the verb would be hablo, hablas, habla, hablamos, hablan. I speak, you speak, she speaks, we speak, they speak. Let's look at some examples now to help clarify. So right now we're focusing on part 3 of the note guide. So here are some examples, and as I show you the examples, I want you to write down the correct verb conjugation and make sure that your verb that you're writing down agrees with the subject. So for example, if I wanted to say Pablo, or if I wanted to say in Spanish, Pablo takes notes in history class, I would say Pablo toma apuntes en la clase de historia. Or if I wanted to say, in Spanish, I listen to music in art class, I would say, yo escucho a la música en la clase de arte. Or if I wanted to say, they get good grades in Spanish class, I would say, ellos sacan buenas notas en la clase de español. If you look, I took off the AR and I added the endings o, as, a, amos, and an to agree with the subject that we're talking about. So let's do some more. Now I'm referring to more examples, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So right now I want you to do the same thing. I want you to, I'm not going to actually I'll give you the verb conjugation, but it'll be a little bit after. So maybe you could try to guess and see and practice and see what verb would go into that blank to agree with the subject. So here are some more examples. I could say, if I wanted to say, we study in English class, I would use the verb estudiar to agree with nosotros. Nosotros blank en la clase de inglés would be nosotros estudiamos. We study in English class. Or if I wanted to say in Spanish, you answer questions, I would put the verb contestar in the to form, which would be contestas. Tú contestas preguntas. You answer questions. So here are a few more. Now I'm referring to number 3 and 4 on your note guide. Here's another one. Here's some more examples. If I wanted to say she works in school, I would say ella trabaja en la escuela. Or number 4, if I wanted to say I rent DVDs on Tuesdays, I would say yo alquilo los DVDs los martes. So, present tense verbs, pretty simple. That's the end of our presentation. Be ready for your flipped mini quiz, 5 questions, multiple choice tomorrow. Adios. Tenga una buena noche.